If you are thinking about picking one up, I just want to walk you through my experience living with it day to day, what it actually does well, and where it can be a little annoying. I have been using it in my home long enough to get past the honeymoon phase, so this is not a quick unboxing reaction. It is more like what I would tell a friend who asked if it is worth having one running in the background. At a basic level, this is for anyone who deals with dust, allergies, pet hair, cooking smells, or that stale indoor air feeling when the house has been closed up for a while. I mainly wanted it for seasonal allergies and general dust control, and I also liked the idea of having something that reacts on its own when the air gets worse. I do not want to babysit an air purifier. I want to turn it on, let it do its thing, and only think about it when it needs attention. What makes this model stand out in normal use is that it has a sensor on board and an automatic mode that actually feels useful. Some purifiers have an auto mode that barely changes anything. With this one, I can see it respond when the air gets smoky from cooking or when I am cleaning and kick up dust. It is not magic, but it is consistent enough that I trust it to handle the boring adjustments for me. In terms of the physical design, it is pretty straightforward. It looks clean and neutral, so it does not clash with the room. I've had it in a living room corner and also moved it into a bedroom depending on the season. The body feels sturdy, not flimsy, and it has that solid plastic feel that does not creak when you pick it up and shift it around. It is not tiny, but it is manageable to move when I want it closer to where I am sleeping or when someone in the house is having a rough allergy day. The controls are simple. There is a touchscreen on the top, and I ended up using it more than I expected. I thought I would only use the remote, but the touchscreen is easy enough that I just tap what I need when I walk by. The display gives you feedback on air quality in a way that is easy to understand without thinking too hard. It is one of those things that becomes background information you glance at, like the thermostat. Setup was easy. I pulled it out, got the filter set in place, and started running it. Nothing about it felt complicated. The only real setup decision I had to make was where to place it so it can pull air from the room without being blocked. In practice, it works best with some breathing room around it. When I shoved it too close to a wall the first time, it still ran, but it felt like it was not moving air as freely. Giving it a little space made it feel more effective. Daily use is mostly hands-off. I leave it in automatic mode a lot of the time. When the house is calm and clean, it stays quiet and just maintains the air. When I cook, especially anything that smokes a bit like searing or frying, I notice the unit ramp up within a short time. I also tested it during vacuuming and dusting, and it tends to increase fan speed while I am stirring things up, then settle back down later. Noise is a big deal for me because I cannot stand a loud purifier at night. On the lower settings, it is the kind of sound that disappears after a few minutes. In a bedroom, I can sleep with it running on a low or medium setting without it bothering me. On higher fan speeds, you will hear it, and it is not subtle. It is more of a steady rush of air than a harsh mechanical whine, which I find easier to tolerate. But I would not want it blasting at the highest speed right next to the bed all night. The good thing is that I usually do not need the highest speed for long. It tends to spike when something happens, then calm down again. As far as air cleaning goes, I noticed the biggest difference with dust and allergy irritation. I still have to clean my house like a normal person, but the fine dust buildup on surfaces felt slower over time, especially in rooms where I kept it running more consistently. During pollen season, I woke up with less of that dry, itchy throat feeling, and I had fewer nights where I felt stuffed up for no obvious reason. I am not saying it fixes allergies, but it did help me feel more comfortable in my own space. Odors are another area where I saw a real difference. Cooking smells did not linger as long, and general stale room smell was reduced. If you expect it to erase a strong odor instantly, that is not realistic. What it does is gradually pull that smell down faster than just waiting it out. I also noticed it helped after I used cleaning products. The room felt like it returned to normal quicker. Smoke is a good test because it is obvious. I do not smoke inside, but I have had situations where smoke drifted in from outside, and the purifier reacted fast. The sensor picked up the change. The fan speed increased, and the room air felt more breathable after it had been running for a bit. It is not a miracle fix if the source of smoke is still coming in, but it helps you recover faster once the air can stabilize. The smart features are mostly about convenience, and I think that is the right way to judge them. Automatic mode is the one I use the most. The remote is nice when I am already on the couch or in bed and I want to change the fan speed or dim the lights. The light control matters more than I expected because I do not want a bright display in a dark bedroom. Being able to turn that down makes it easier to live with at night. On maintenance, this is where owning an air purifier becomes real. Filters do not last forever. This unit makes it easy to access the filter, and I appreciate that. When it is time to replace it, I do not have to fight the machine or take it apart. The purifier also gives you a reminder, which is helpful because most people forget until performance drops. My advice is to check the filter once in a while anyway, especially if you have pets or you live in a dusty area, because real-life conditions can vary a lot. Now for a few limitations I noticed. The sensor is helpful, but I would not treat it like a laboratory instrument. It is good for trends and changes, not perfection. I also think placement matters a lot. If you put it in a spot where air cannot circulate, you might feel underwhelmed. Another thing is that when it ramps up to higher speeds, the noise is noticeable. That is normal for purifiers that move a lot of air, but it is still worth saying out loud. If you are extremely sensitive to sound, you will probably keep it on lower settings most of the time. Overall, my impression is that it is a practical air purifier that fits into normal life without demanding much from me. I like that I can leave it in automatic mode and trust it to respond when the air changes. I like that it is easy to control, easy to move, and easy to maintain. And I like that the results show up in small daily ways, like waking up feeling less irritated during allergy season and noticing odors clear faster after cooking. If you have questions about how I am using it in my space, or you want me to test it in a specific scenario, leave a comment and I will read through them. Subscribe to the channel if you want more real-world tech reviews like this, and thank you for watching.